Peptides are very sensitive chemicals. They work really well, but they're very sensitive. And so it's necessary to keep them freeze-dried in these containers until you're ready to use them. So I'm going to show you how to reconstitute them into solution. So the first thing we're going to do is pop off this cap. Then we're going to clean the lid with rubbing alcohol. Now we're going to wait a second for that to dry. But you can see it'll show up here freeze-dried in this white powder. So we're just waiting for this lid to dry. While we're waiting for it to dry, we'll get our syringe ready. So we use these syringes to add sterile saline into the vial with the freeze-dried peptide. You'll see the peptide will dissolve almost immediately. As soon as that happens, then we can pull the peptide dissolved solution out of the vial and put it into our spray bottle. So let's take a look. Yeah, it's dry. Good. This is the saline. So to open this, you just turn the cap. It's open. Okay, we'll put this in like this. And you need about 1 to 2 mils out of this. Set this down. Okay, and then you'll see as soon as we puncture it, it pulls the saline in because it's vacuum sealed. So I put a little bit of extra air into the vial so that it's easier to withdraw. So we can look at this. You see these air bubbles, but it's pretty much dissolved. Except for those air bubbles, it's pretty much completely dissolved. Now, one note about the peptides. So peptides are best stored frozen. You want to make sure that you bring them to room temperature before you do this step of adding the solution. The reason is that they're very sensitive to moisture. And I'm sure you've noticed if you've taken anything out of the freezer, then it'll get water condensation on the edge of it. We want to avoid introducing excess water to the solution outside of the saline. So I let it come to room temperature. You should wait at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes after you pull this out of the freezer before completing the addition of the saline to the vial. So the next step is adding the saline to our nose spray bottle. So we got that pretty much full. You can see. Last step is pulling the peptide out and putting it in our vial. So let's do that. Okay. So you get the needle, you go through the center of this vial, and then you want to get all of the liquid out. So I do it towards the bottom. And then I just pull it all out. Okay. That's it. So you want to, here's your solution. You want to store this in the refrigerator. And then after every use, what I do is I take a fresh alcohol wipe and actually wipe the spray before putting it back in the refrigerator. I do this just to, because peptides are so sensitive, they're sensitive to the microbes that live in our nose can actually degrade them. And so I just like to keep a sterile field. And so after I use this, I will spray this into my nose and then I will wipe it.